In typical James Gunn fashion and in typical modern Hollywood fashion, when you put out a product and you get some criticism, there's one big go-to when some people don't like the direction you're headed with a franchise or with a show or whatever. And James Gunn decided to pull that card pretty damn quick. James Gunn calls fans racist and admits he has no oversight from Warner Brothers on DCU projects. Now, Jay, if you've followed a little bit about what people have been talking about regarding Peacemaker, just like how the first one included a lot of like white supremacy and white supremacy is the worst thing in the world and blah, 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 all of this stuff in season one. Season two, they went ahead and doubled down. Peacemaker goes to another Earth, another world, which if you paid attention, it was obvious because there was no black people, there were no minorities anywhere in sight in that world when he was there. And because it's a Hollywood production, it was very obvious to see that. And of course, they finally revealed, I think in episode 6, that yes, indeed, this alternate world that Peacemaker loves so much, in fact, is Earth X, right? It's been taken over by the Nazis. And it was an interesting way to reveal it, I suppose. It should have been obvious to anyone, but yes, indeed, there it was. However, there have been some people that didn't like it. They don't like the fact that James Gunn is so focused on this, that this is what he wants to push again in the second season of Peacemaker. And also, it should be noted that when you listen to what they're saying in this thing, they're trying to send a message. It's not just about an alternate Earth. It's not just about Earth X and a funny story that you could have. No, it's about making comparisons between Earth X, a world that's been taken over by Nazis, and the world today. Here's a little clip from the episode that dropped a day or two ago.
If he's so awesome, why'd he move to the Nazi world?
I didn't say he was smart. I'm sure he didn't even notice. Sad part is, I'm not so sure this Nazi world is as different from our own world as we wish it was.
There it is.
Yes. So this world that's been taken over by the Nazis, in which black people and minorities are put in concentration camps and like all of this stuff. I don't know if that's any different than our real world. That's the sad part. And that's what so much of this shit is about, especially with James Gunn. So obviously there's some criticism for this. But what does James Gunn say? What is James Gunn's take on this whole thing? Well, here it is. James Gunn on Peacemaker, Season 2, Episode 6. I have a few racists that called me polarizing, but I'm okay with being polarizing and letting racist fall to the wayside. People have loved this episode the most, so it's exciting. What a way to deflect all the criticism for your fucking show. Well, you know what? There's just a few racists out there that have a problem. There's a few racists out there that have a problem. Those are the only ones that have any problems with it. Everybody else absolutely loves it. There's not a lot of people watching this show. The ratings are not great for this show, period. And I don't blame them. It's kind of an unfunny show. There's not much meat to it. I do think there's a small bit between John Cena and his family on that alternate Earth that could be really powerful if they got rid of a lot of the rest of the shit. But unfortunately, the vast majority of the show is just shit and unfunny crap. And then you throw this in there. You throw the messaging in there, especially that line about, I'm not so sure this Nazi world is all that much different from my own. Fuck you. Fuck you, James Gunn. You cock-sucking loser. You lying scumbag piece of shit. What a garbage human being.
People remember this because this is the guy that said Peacemaker is the most important part of his universe. Am I correct in saying that? It was something along the lines that, to understand like Superman and all that, like it was the most important or something like that along those lines.
It is the most important thing. It sets up the entire future of the DC universe.
So you think they're going to bring Superman and Lex and all them into this Nazi world for them to fight some bad dude, to free it from all the Nazi propaganda? This is so, come on, James Gunn. This is so 2017 to call everybody racist and stuff for not liking your show. Oh man, they just can't help themselves, man. Hollywood is still holding on to this whole, we've got to get our message out there. We've got to let them know we got to fight Trump. We really have to and push that propaganda button. But again, on a serious note, it's this type of rhetoric that is that's getting people not just fired, but hurt and killed. When you constantly push this thing that the Nazis have taken over our government, these crazy people in their minds, they're like, well, we got to stop them by any means necessary. And obviously voting isn't working anymore, and calling them names isn't working anymore. And then these crazy people resort to violence, and they think they're in the right. They think they're not doing anything wrong because they've been told by entertainment and politicians and everybody else that these are the bad guys. Remember what we had to do to Nazis. We had to do all that. These are the same people. It's number one, it's tiring, but my gosh, man, it's so over all this. Thank God I haven't even cared to watch a single episode. So let me ask you this. In the world that he lives in, is there any crime?
Here's the thing. The Nazi world's like a utopia, bro. At least it feels that way from the outside. Everybody's happy. There's like one little resistance group that's like fighting, but you don't really understand why until it's revealed that it's a Nazi world. But for the most part, it seems like a nice place to live. Again, the whole thing is to be like, look how really stupid and ignorant Peacemaker is that he didn't realize. I can't believe he didn't notice that there were no black people in this world and he thinks it's perfect and blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, they play it off by like Harcourt pointing out there's copies of Mein Kampf on every desk. There's a portrait of Hitler in the background. How didn't you notice these things? It's supposed to be played off as a laugh. But I mean, from the outside, it looked like a nice place. I don't know what James Gunn's trying to say about that, but yeah.
Yeah, so he's literally saying that minorities cause all the problems in our country. That's his real messaging right there.
Hey, there's plenty of black people that don't like this show. Are they racist, James Gunn? Is that why?
Card doesn't work anymore. That word has it has lost all meaning, and now it's almost like a compliment at this point. Basically saying if you are a free thinker and not afraid to give your opinion on something, whether it's good or bad, then they're going to call you a Nazi. It's almost like, well, I take that as a badge of honor. That means I'm not one of you guys. I'm not one of you sheep that walk around, and just consume and just agree with everything and put the things in the bio that I was told to do. It just proves that's what I am. So I like when you call me that word, because it means I'm not one of you.
I got called a racist for liking the Batman. I like the Batman.
It every day for various reasons. Yeah.
So, Chris Gore, Ryan, today would have been a great day to wear your "I love being a black woman" t-shirt. I got to see if I can find it. It's somewhere in my drawers somewhere, Chris.